Hello, fans of murder, mayhem, and monster movies. Welcome back to day 2 of the 31 Days of Halloween challenge with Frybox 64. I am the prettiest of bones, Frybox 64, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. I know you're all expecting things to be scary for Halloween, but love can sometimes bloom in the strangest of places at the strangest of times, and that's what today's video is about. This is going to be a love story, but not just any love story. This is going to be an alternate universe what-if story of what would happen if I were a monster and my monster self were to try to find love in the world of the undead. So ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you a brand new story called Dire Love. So how we're going to do this is, the majority of this video, or I hope at least half of this video, is going to be of me determining who my perfect movie monster, husband, boyfriend, lover, who have you, is going to be. And how are we going to do that? We're going to turn to the internet for help. There are so many fun little quizzes that you can take around this time of year, any time of year really, but especially this time of year. And I've hunted down some quizzes to find out who exactly my soulmate is in the afterlife. So first we have to start out. We're going to do 4 tests today. Of course we have to start out with the very basic and most obvious test. What kind of monster am I? So without further ado, let's find out exactly what kind of monster I would be if I were to be created a monster. So, according to BuzzFeed, let's see, we're going to start. What type of environment would you prefer to live in? Oh, let's see. Forest, swamp, graveyard, mountains, an ancient tomb, castle, or Salem, Massachusetts. That's out immediately. You know what? If I had to live in any of the... I am not Shrek. I'm sorry. I love Shrek, but I'm not Shrek. So I honestly would go with a castle. I think that would be awesome. Who do you like to spend time with? Family, friends, romantic partner, or myself? Oh goodness. I'm an equal mix of all of these, but let's go with romantic partner, just because I wind up spending most of my time with my romantic partners. Which kind of animal would make the best companion for you? Oh, there's no bunny option. I am so sad. Even though I already have a cat, I would love to have a little bat companion. Just a little baby bat to carry around on my shoulder. What is my favorite sport? My favorite sport is not on here. I don't play any of these, but you know what? I'll do track and field just because I run on the treadmill an awful lot. What is the first thing you think about when you wake up? Evil. I love how our list goes: breakfast, water, to-do list, going back to sleep, take the dog out, destroying the alarm clock, or evil. I believe going back to sleep would probably be the closest, because I normally hit the snooze button on my alarm when I'm supposed to get up, because 9 times out of 10 my cats are snuggled up in bed with me and want to spend time with me, so I'm gonna say going back to sleep. What's your favorite game? Dungeons and Dragons! Is there even a question about this? What is your most valued mental trait? Oh, goodness. Strategy, memories, intuition, intelligence, resourcefulness, manipulation, or humor? I mean, humor is what I fall back on when I'm in stressful situations. Which physical trait do you value the most in yourself? I would probably say my endurance, because I'm definitely not fast, I'm definitely not that strong, and my reflexes aren't the best, so I'm going to say endurance. Mostly because I can run for extended periods of time. What sounds like the best Friday night? Reading by the fire, going to a party, swimming at the lake, that's asking to get killed, romantic dinner, pulling pranks, camping, or catching up on Netflix. Ooh. So I could do any of these for a Friday night. Oh, I could honestly, well, I wouldn't pull pranks. I wouldn't mind reading by the fire. I'm a bit of a bookworm. What kind of weather do you like the most? Thunderstorms, yes, thunderstorms, best sleeping weather ever. If you weren't a monster, what kind of mythical creature would you be? Is there a pixie on here? Now pixies and fairies are completely different creatures, but I'm going with fairy because that's the closest thing to pixie. Finally, what would you eat or drink in your monster form? Ooh, any animals I come across, natural foods I forage for myself, whatever I can find and mix together as my own unique concoction, blood. Just blood. Scraps I find lying on the ground, fish I catch from nearby water sources, and my enemies. Oh my gosh. I don't know. All of these sound amazing, depending on what I wind up being. I like my enemies. I think that's a good option. Oh no, I'm a zombie. Why? Well, I suppose. Zombie. You are the zombie. Your greatest attribute is your determination. Nothing can stop you. When you set your mind towards doing something, you are immovable in your convictions. You are a child of the night. Your symbol is earth, and your season is summer. That's lovely. You are a very social creature who loves your friends and family. Even though none of the things I selected were very social. You enjoy a group setting. How did you get this out of my answers? Because of this, one of your greatest talents is your incredible synergy and ability to work in a team. You have the most in common with werewolves and the Wendigo. Zombie folklore comes from all around the world, but is most famous in Haiti. Zombies are reanimated corpses brought back from the dead. No doubt, Sherlock. Often in myth, this is the result of magic, but in recent stories, zombies are often created by toxic waste contamination or deadly viruses. And, well, that's lovely. So I'm a zombie, apparently. Alright, we'll mark that down. In this alternate universe, I didn't survive the zombie apocalypse, and I apparently became a zombie. Alright, so now that we've discovered what type of monster I am, the second quiz of our 4-quiz series is, who would my monster boyfriend be? So we're assuming that zombie me has gone off and shambled away from the horde in an attempt to find true love, because there is something missing. There's something missing in this non-beating, half-eaten heart, and that is the other half of that heart, and I'm going off to find the other half of my heart without having to rip it out of somebody else's chest. So at this point, we encounter our first boyfriend. Maybe not the lasting relationship, but our first boyfriend. So let's see who would wind up being our lovely little boyfriend. Welcome to the quiz. Let's start out with something basic. Do you enjoy Halloween? Yep, I like dressing up. Very much so. Which costume sounds the most appealing? A generic monster like a werewolf, vampire, a character from a movie or TV show. I don't really dress up. Probably a superhero. I would say, because most Marvel characters fall under the whole character from a movie or TV show, I'm gonna say that. What's your favorite part of Halloween? Oh, the haunted house is definitely. What are some hobbies of yours? Ooh, I'm gonna say cooking, because that is the most similar to what I do. Which color sounds the most appealing? Purple, black, green, or orange? I like purple. Purple sounds appealing. Have you seen the afterlife? I am the afterlife. I'm going to say I am the afterlife because I'm a zombie in this. So we're assuming at this point that I'm a zombie. Which SpongeBob character is your favorite? Let's see. Yellow Square, Angry Squid, Flip Star, Can Crab Cab, Cheeky Lad, or Gary? Angry Quid? I feel like as a zombie, I should have, that would be my favorite. How many kids do you want/have? Do you have/want to have? If I'm a zombie, then I'm assuming I'm going to be spreading the zombie virus anyway. We want to spread the zombie virus to everyone. Oh, hello, Taylor Lautner. What are you doing here? What is/was your favorite core subject in school? Math, language arts, science, or history? How about math? Because 1 dead person plus 1 dead person equals 2 dead people. And lastly, what is your favorite Halloween monster? Oh goodness. I would have to say, honestly, Zombie Vicky is hoping to catch a werewolf, so we'll say werewolf. Who's your monster boyfriend? Who's Vampire Dave? Oh boy, this vampire is so mysterious. He's a sexy, shirtless vampire with a lot of love to spare. He can be gentle, rough, and everything in between. He'll risk his life for you and care for you when you're sick. Well, that's going to be an awfully lot of caring because, I'm a zombie 24/7. Vampire Dave becomes becomes my zombie self first boyfriend. Okay. Now, for this next part, we're assuming that the relationship between Vampire Dave and Zombie Ella, I don't know what I'm actually going to name her, but our zombie gal, or my zombie self, has fizzled. We know that vampires are very sexually charged individuals, and same thing over and over again with a zombie, can get very ho-hum, very boring for them. So we're assuming that Vampire Dave and my zombie self have split up at this point. And now our zombie self is going to be looking for a new horror movie soulmate. This is where she realizes that this is the one that she wants to be with. This is the one that she wants to spend the rest of her unlife with. This is the one who may be that fish that got away. So let's see who this winds up being. Okay, so I had to edit that out again because twice, even though I picked mostly different answers both times, BuzzFeed kept trying to tell me that Reagan, the gal from The Exorcist, was my soulmate. And she's a little girl. No! Anyway, so we switched this out to a different quiz. Who's your horror movie villain soulmate? We're gonna try this again. Oh my gosh, please let this be a thing. Where do you live? I'm gonna say my zombie in this universe lives in the city, because that's probably where I would have turned into a zombie, because I was living in the city. What's your favorite holiday? Halloween! How important are looks to you in a soulmate? I'm gonna say not important, because, I'm gonna say they're important. I'm gonna say they're important, but not very important. You want a soulmate with good fashion sense? I don't care. I really don't care. Hi, no. Choose one quality you value above all in a soulmate. Strength, sensitivity, good sense of humor, maturity, dependable, athletic, in good shape. I'm gonna say athletic / in good shape, because they gotta be able to keep up with the zombie horde, because we don't stop for anything. Are you an artist? And if so, what kind? Oh. I paint with the blood of my enemies. Choose an insect. Butterfly. She's gonna have no idea why she has butterflies as her favorite insect, not knowing that I chose to be a butterfly for my Halloween costume in this universe. How do you like to communicate with your soulmate? Is there no option to just like fling body parts at the wall and make up our own language? I say handwritten letters. Because she probably can't operate a phone. I said next question, thank you. Choose your favorite decade. Oh, gosh. Do I have a favorite decade? I'm gonna say the 60s, maybe? Choose a horror weapon. Teeth. Teeth. Which do you prefer in a soulmate? Silent. Silent. Are you a day or a night person? Night. I would be a night person as a zombie. Oh my gosh, can we not have advertisements? Thank you. Do you like being papered on Valentine's Day? I'm gonna say OMG, yes. How many people in your life do you want to kill? As a zombie, I would say 3 or more, because we gotta spread the zombie virus. Do you have a pet? Oh, look at all the bun buns. Oh, look at the bun buns. I'm gonna say yes. What a jelly bean. I'm gonna say yes, because I feel like my zombie becoming like partially aware of like feelings of love would have tried to keep a pet to fill the void in her heart, and it didn't quite fill it all the way. So I'm gonna say yes. Where do you want to fight? I'm gonna say a street, maybe? Oh. I imagine that's probably choose a final girl. Okay. I don't know you and I don't know you. That's probably bad. I don't know these two. I'm gonna say, Laurie Strode, maybe? Would you rather work at home or in an office? Zombie me is just staring at this like, what? What is work? It's like, she's like, well, I used to work in an office, so. What will you hand out on Halloween? Oh, that's a good question. Maybe Butterfinger, I think that like has got the word finger in it. How big of a horror movie fan are you? Huge! I love horror. And let's see. Oh my goodness. We got Hannibal Lecter. Oh, charming, rich, sophisticated. Who wouldn't fall for a doctor with these qualities? Hannibal is on another level culture-wise, and he'd share your appreciation for the fine art and travel. He's also an artist and culinary master, so he'd be able to teach you a thing or two. Hannibal would romance you by staring, without blinking, into your soul and capturing your heart. Because, you know, that just staring at somebody without blinking for an extended period of time means that you're making a nice, soulful connection with them. I have to blink. Ah. So, okay. So Vampire Dave leaves and Hannibal Lecter enters the scene. My gal decided that she was going to go for an actual flesh and blood human instead of like a monster in the mythological sense. Okay, so really this was the only one. Now I know I got mad at BuzzFeed a little bit ago for the result that I got for the one soulmate quiz. I couldn't find anything else. This was the only thing that I could find for horror movie husband. So we're gonna go with this, and if I wind up getting Reagan again, I don't know. We're gonna not be very happy. So here we are. We're gonna pick a forest. Ooh. Nighttime gloomy, daytime gloomy. Potentially we could get out of this alive forest or autumn forest. I'm gonna say black and white because that's probably how I see the world. Pick a vacation. Ooh, Los Angeles, Mexico, Boston, and New York City. New York City is where the zombie virus happened in I think it, what was it, Dead Days with Marvel? Or World War Z? No, Z something. Dead Days. I think it was Dead Days. Dead Days. I don't know. I should know. Pick a dessert. Lava cake, chocolate, ice cream, or watermelon. Oh, man. So many yummy things. I would like to hope that I held on to my love for ice cream as a zombie. So we'll see. Pick a season. Probably, I'm gonna say fall because it's not too hot that I'll decompose and not too cold that I'll just freeze solid. So fall is good. Pick an element. Earth, because I came from the earth. And that's apparently my sign, according to BuzzFeed. Pick a genre of horror, yeah. And we got Jason Voorhees! Your husband is Jason from Friday the 13th. You enjoy the strong, silent type. While Jason may be a mama's boy, he'll for sure love you too. Aw, Jason! How sweet. Okay, BuzzFeed, you have kind of redeemed yourself. Not really. Not really. Remove frickin' Reagan from the test answers. Do it. Do it. But, alright, so we have our answers. So our character for this story is going to be Zombie Me. First boyfriend's going to be Vampire Dave. Second is going to be Hannibal Lecter. And third lover is Jason Voorhees. We're going to see how this goes. And now, may we present the epic Halloween love story, Dire Love. Meet Boney Dyer. Boney Dyer has only recently been turned into a zombie. Well, recently in the sense that she hasn't started losing chunks of meat yet. This used to be one Frybox 64, but when the zombie plague broke out, she unfortunately did not make it out of the city before she turned into a zombie. But as you can see from the happy little smile on her face, she is living her best life as a zombie and is determined to make the most of her situation. She's already become something of a Disney princess among the zombies, as we call your attention to the little birds that have collected by her feet. Yes, she is truly a gentle little soul, but she's found that something is missing in her life. Love. And so, Boney Dyer goes off to find the love of her afterlife. She does not remember that her name was once Frybox 64, but before she goes off into the world, she dubs herself Boney Dyer, even though no actual bones are sticking out of her body yet, though she does have some nice side boob going on. So the first undead lover that Boney Dyer encountered was Vampire Dave. And oh my goodness, look at this gentleman. Look at this gentlemanly fellow. How charming, how roguishly good-looking, how confident and self-at-ease this man was when Boney first met him. Of course, he plied the charm, whether that was true interest in Boney or whether it was just him manipulating her to his own ends. She didn't really care. He was hot and she went for it. And of course, their relationship was off to a banging, passionate start, but after a couple of years, things got kind of boring, and, well, Vampire Dave decided to look at other places for love. And Boney would become more and more insecure about her relationship with this man, and Dave would just go further and further and further away from her until eventually they decided it would be better if they simply split up and did not speak of this again. Although there were times when Vampire Dave in the middle of the night would look up at the stars and wonder where on earth that little zombie had gotten herself off to. Saddened that the relationship with Vampire Dave did not work out, Boney Dyer decided to take her little show on the road and instead visit the living communities to see if maybe she could find love among the humans that she originally came from. It didn't take her very long before she found one human who was truly and surprisingly her soulmate. One Hannibal Lecter. The doctor gone insane, who feasted upon livers, served with fava beans, with a fine Chianti. The pronunciation of Chianti was the one thing that they couldn't agree upon, the only argument that they ever had. Although their relationship had ups and downs and all arounds, they were still the perfect couple for each other, enjoying hacking other members of the community to bits and feasting upon the remains. Hannibal even taught Boney how to enjoy cooked food again. Yes, things were going great, and they were surely the perfect duo. It seemed as though maybe after some months of dating, Hannibal might even pop the question to her, even though he had never felt such feelings of love before. But it was not to be, for right before he was to propose to Boney Dyer, tragedy struck in the form of the community sheriff finding out about all the people that he and Boney had murdered together, and with Hannibal being arrested and thrown into prison, and Boney being thrown out of the community, being outed for the zombie that she truly was. It was not long before that relationship fell to the wayside, and Boney once again was on her own. However, she was not on her own for very long, because after a few days of walking around in the forest bemoaning her lost love of Hannibal, who did she find walking out of the water but one Jason Voorhees? Yes, Jason Voorhees, truly a man of stature, of the strong and silent type that is so few and far between these days. He won her over with his bulk, with his maskedness, with his constant being there. Honestly, I don't know why Boney decided she wanted to be in love with this man, but hey, love is love! And who are we to say no to a zombie, ready to pull out the flesh of our living relatives, or to say no to a man who somehow grew after being drowned as a small boy in a lake? I don't question that logic. It was not long before Jason and Boney decided that they were meant for each other. They were inseparable. They could not be apart. And so Jason popped the question, and together Jason and Boney walked down the aisle of their graveyard wedding venue, surrounded by the zombie horde, and with Jason's dead mother seated at the front row of the cemetery. They were presided over by the zombie priest, by the zombie pastor, and they said their I do's. And see, there she is, our lovely Boney Dyer, all dressed up in her wedding finest, ready to say I do to the man of her dreams, Jason Voorhees. And the two of them went off and had many beautiful children together and lived unhappily slash undeadedly slash happily ever after. And so concludes our love story of who I would marry if I were a zombie in an alternate universe. And apparently it is Jason Voorhees. Well, thank you all for joining us today, and thank you for indulging me in this lovely little love story. I had originally just wanted to do little spooky Halloween quizzes, the whole little like, who's your dream boyfriend thing, like what used to pop up back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, kind of in that area. And you know, I just thought that we could turn this into a little story. I thought that we could do a little something fun with it, go that extra mile for this. So thank you for sitting through this little sappy horror love story with me. If you like what you saw, feel free to hit like and subscribe, share us around with our other horror fan loving friends. Somebody please get on BuzzFeed and tell them to get Reagan off the list of horror movie soulmates. That is just not okay. I know that whole debate of if you have an old soul trapped in a little body, what do you do with it? But still, we don't want to have that debate on here. Somebody tell BuzzFeed to get that off of there. And yeah, so if you want to check out some of my other Halloween videos that I have done over the years, that is also on the channel. The ending story was made with figures from Hero Forge. I will put the Hero Forge link in the description below if you want to make your own characters there. And hopefully we will see you again tomorrow for another episode of Murder, Mayhem, and Monsters. Bye, everybody.